Welcome to the ASMR Salon and Spa. This is Corrina, and I have a video today. It's going to be a little bit different and have some cool new sounds. I want to tell you about something called matcha. So you may be familiar with green tea, and matcha is essentially a version of green tea, but it's less processed. And green tea isn't really that processed to begin with, but typically the leaves are dried when we consume tea and green tea, to be more specific. So matcha is prepared by crushing the leaves before they're dried. And what results is this beautiful, bright green powder known as matcha. Matcha has been used ceremonially in Japan for a very long time, because it gives you a relaxed alertness. So it is used in ceremonies because of that calm, alert state of mind that is produced when you consume matcha tea. It also contains some of the highest antioxidant content of any food or tea or other item out there. So it's fantastic for our health. Those antioxidants are responsible for helping to combat the aging process, or just the general repair and healing that can sometimes be lost as we age. Antioxidants help to preserve that and to help us have more youthful, both inside and outside health. So I want to show you how ceremonial matcha is prepared. I think this is such a great example of a mindfulness activity, something that helps to relieve stress just because of how relaxing it is to make the tea. And then also, of course, you have the health benefits of the tea itself. And I will tell you more about this Matcha Reserve matcha once my tea is made. This ceremonial matcha tea set includes all of the different items you need to make ceremonial matcha. So the bowl that is typically used for making matcha, called a chawan, as you can see, is quite a wide mouth bowl, and that is so that you can use the whisk when making the tea. And the bamboo whisk is called a chasen, and the little spoon that we scoop the matcha with is known as a chasaku. So I'm going to begin by taking 2 scoops of my ceremonial grade matcha into the chawan. And they often recommend that you sift the tea into your bowl to remove clumps. But since I don't have a little sifter, I'm just using the spoon to gently break up the powder. And that will at least remove any large clumps that might be present. One thing to note is that you don't want to get the spoon itself wet. So after using it, you simply use a clean, dry towel to remove any additional matcha. We don't actually want to get the bamboo itself wet because we don't want to introduce moisture to the matcha powder. So my next step is to take my hot water. Now I recommend 185 degrees, which is just under boiling. So you can either boil the water and let it cool slightly, or just stop it right before boiling. And then I'm just going to slowly pour about 2 to 3 ounces of water onto the matcha powder. Okay, so now I take my whisk, the chasen, and just begin to start mixing the powder into the water. They recommend that you use a kind of W motion rather than circles. So, doing that here. And you do want it to become kind of frothy and bubbly. It smells really delightful. You could also use one of those electronic frothing tools. However, I think that doing it by hand is part of what makes this such a wonderful mindfulness and mindful experience. Really being engaged with the matcha tea, the entire process of creating this delightful beverage. You can hear the bubbles in there a little bit. Okay. Once all of the matcha powder has been dissolved, you want to place the whisk into its little holder, which also comes with this Matcha Reserve tea set. And then at this time, you can basically add any additional water that you would like to, basically to taste. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water here. And we'll just give it one more little stir. And I will show you how to clean the items as well after we're done. So now I have my lovely matcha tea. I'm going to try it. So, a really high quality ceremonial grade matcha has a fairly subtle taste, slightly sweet, definitely the distinctive matcha flavor that you may be familiar with. And it is worth noting that the ceremonial matcha is different than the matcha typically sold for cooking or making matcha lattes. But this ultra premium organic matcha is perfect for making this beautiful cup of tea. And it tastes so delightful. So now I just want to read to you a little bit about this particular tea. So, organic matcha green tea, product of Nishio, Japan. Keep your body energized and healthy, and your mind alert with this extraordinary and ultra premium matcha. Strictly organically grown and carefully hand-picked, only the best leaves from the freshest harvest are stone ground to provide the maximum nutritional value and an amazing smooth umami flavor. The Matcha Reserve also has a variety of flavored matcha teas. I'm a bit of a classic matcha girl myself, but I do think that the chocolate or strawberry matcha is probably pretty delightful as well. Also make a variety of skincare items. There's also a soap, which I've already opened, but you can see it there. So those anti-aging, antioxidant benefits are wonderful to take in internally, but they're also wonderful to use topically. So soap, mud mask, body scrub. If you've watched very many of my skincare videos, you know that I love using food grade items or food grade ingredients on my skin. So I think this is a fantastic example of that. You can also see the beautiful artistry of all these items. So nice. So just so you know, after you complete your cup of tea, you replace the chasen or whisk into the chawan bowl. Hot water back to the bowl. And so you never want to use soap or harsh cleansers on your whisk. And then you replace it into its little stand to naturally dry upright. I I want to thank you so much for joining me for this video. And I want to thank the Matcha Reserve for sending all of these items. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.